We're live, Sam.
Hey! And don't you just feel safe with the giant space bazooka watching our backs? He is making
Sure,
sure we're
yeah.
all okay. Because, I mean, I think it's fair to say, Stuart, the best, most effective, efficient, and well thought out starter weapon of all time. Fair to say?
Space bazooka.
Miss Purple. Fine.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know why they never
Yeah,
used it in, like, DS9 or Voyager after this, because they have the prop. Maybe they thought it was silly. I don't know. You know?
it's silly. That's the point, yeah.
Yes.
Welcome back, guys. Today we're doing something new but old. Old but new. We're doing rankings. We're doing tiered lists. You guys are selecting the people we're talking about. Tactical officers, tactical people type situation. But we're gonna give you guys the power here again. We kind of like when you guys decide because it's a community thing. So we're going to give you four options on the poll as to which possible ones that this particular person could go into, and you guys get to vote. So it'll be interesting because we'll need the votes. If only like four people vote, that could be a problem. So yes.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, there are ones that aren't going to be Fs that are going to be ABCs or SABs. So, in fact, I think we should work out the rough alignment of where they should be. And you would think there'd be some consensus, maybe, possibly, maybe.
Wish there was more options on the poll, but YouTube hasn't given us that yet. So, you know,
But I'm excited to see who you guys submit. There are obviously some obvious ones. But the last time we did this, it was Starfleet. This is now characters. So a Klingon is going to be more tactical. But I say that, but of course, Alexander or Chang, different ball game, etc. So a lot of variety here, and you guys vote some vote to see who and when and why and how everyone puts for.
we still
Yeah.
have the option of if you don't like or agree where the person goes, you
Mm-hmm.
guys can still bump them up or down a tier. That's still going to be a thing.
And of course, PayPal 241. So if you want to throw in a whole lot of fun ones,
And PayPal as well. If
is
you want to bump somebody up or down a tier, $5 will get you two tiers. I'm just saying.
Goodness,
That's
that's
no.
crazy. So yeah, PayPal's the key. Put in for that if you can. It goes a lot further, as you guys know. So I will go and start sharing. See you in a minute.
Do that. And I'll tell these fine people to hit that like button. Make sure that you're part of the channel, subscribed, all that notified so you don't miss any lives with us. Get to hang out with us, whatever. Make sure you're subscribed, notified, and hit that like button. You can also help us out on a monthly basis, though. There is a join button down there on YouTube. Click that, or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards, or you can join us on a monthly basis and support us. Some people do both Patreon and YouTube channel memberships, and we appreciate those people immensely. So if you guys feel the desire to do one or the other, we would appreciate that also. Bottom line is we appreciate you guys and we want you here in any form you can. So that's why I say subscribe, notify, join the lives, join the discussions. Even if you can't super chat, just throw your comments and we want to get to know you guys. The best way to do that is to be active in the regular chat. And yes, we appreciate all of you. So do all the things. Also, there are links down below in the description of every video to um, Teespring and T Public. So check those out. Some cool Trekyards merchandise as well as other stuff in there. And just clicking the link actually helps us out immensely. So if you can do that, we'd really appreciate it. Just click the link, open it, look around maybe, or if you want to buy something cool. If not cool, just click the link. As I said, it does help us in that regard as well. So lots of ways to support and help us out. Just be part of the conversation, hang out with us, talk silliness with us. That's what we do. So dun dun dun. Um, we're not gonna put Fleet Paw on the list, Olivia. As much as that's a fun thing to do, we're not gonna do that because I don't have any photos of him readily available. So, um, yeah. But I'll read it anyway because this is the way. Olivia,
Oh,
$5.
oh.
The best tactical officer is Fleet Paw.
Oh.
Fleet Paw. We never fear when Fleet Paw is near. That's true.
So we're always fearing a
But we're not going to
lot.
put him on the list because we don't have a.
No, so pick somebody to start the. Pick someone you want to throw in, Stuart. An interesting one. An interesting one. Let's start
Interesting one.
a conversation.
All right. Very tactically minded.
Oh
Mirror
no.
Universe Spock.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I mean, to be fair.
But, there's a pre-poll if you want to just read out the poll results. I can get the new poll.
Yeah. Who's the best in a tactical situation? Woof or Data? Woof wins with 67% and 15 votes. So I disagree. I think the Android might have an advantage on that one, but hey.
And that is a question.
Yeah, so getting into Mirror Universe Spock, I feel that not everyone, most people in the Mirror Universe would have a tactical advantage because to survive and to get ahead, you have to be tactically minded. You have to know when to take your strike. You need to know when to, you know, you need to your moments of opportunity to move ahead and to survive. That's the thing. It's a survival tactic in the Mirror Universe. And Spock, yeah, he was one that was kind of this is it's all illogical at the end of the day with the way we're going. So if I can, change things, and there's been a lot of comics and novels based around the changes that Spock made, and and then it gets all shaky and weird when we get to DS9 because eh, it's fine. I like to think that it went a little bit better, and the comics definitely kind of follow that route, which is interesting. So yeah, Spock being a Vulcan, very logical, very tactically minded, and doesn't want to necessarily kill people, but has a good head on his shoulders and has a plan to get ahead and to change things for the better. So yeah.
Yeah, because they were, as in Enterprise, they were kind of put down upon by the Terrans. And while he's obviously quite higher rank, they're not quite the same that we saw in TOS in terms of that regard. But but the fact that he survived this long and not being killed means he had to presumably kill dozens of people in self-defense to stop himself from being killed, right? So killing is a standard thing. But that said, is he able to? I mean, he does use Sulu, if I recall, bad Sulu or bad Chekhov to kind of they're his pawns, so he might be chess playing it to the point. So would his this is tactical, not strength, right? So would his tacticalness be able to win against the brute force of a Jem'Hadar? I don't know, right? You can only think so far against brutal force.
Yeah. So this is on you guys. We currently have 10 votes, but you guys get to pick. So go check out the poll.
We just debate and discuss, and you guys submit people for us to see. Yeah, I mean, definitely a self-defense kind of guy. But if he's being attacked, he's gonna come at you, bro, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys vote. See where I think you're gonna go.
Yeah, it was just interesting to see him on that side and for me to get the first pick because I think Mirror Universe people are uniquely qualified for this tactical mindset, and
yeah,
he was a unique one. So,
but if you compare the people we assume are going to be in the S category, a Data or a Worf, both I would think would be able to knock him out.
Yeah,
but that's because they're specialists, right?
Well, Spock might be able to outthink them, out-strategize them somewhat. But yeah, when it comes down to it,
well, I say that, but Worf gets beaten up by everybody. He might be like an F then.
That's true.
But vote now and submit your options. As we said, PayPal 2 for 1 gets more in the conversation.
Or bumping people up or down according to your desire. $5 in PayPal. It's two tiers. So
this is true.
Classic Frill could really mess with the board.
Oh dear. You have
we have the little arrows to show that it wasn't the wider community's fault.
The conscience arrows.
Yeah.
We didn't do this, I promise. And if
Agreed.
what was the rule if it's 50? Bleh. Is there a rule if there's 50-50?
Um, then it'd be up to us to break
Mm.
the tie.
So
Because right
interesting.
now it is tied,
Yeah, it's now 40-40, which is interesting.
but only
Hmm.
15 votes, and we have only 10 people here, so
Mm.
interesting. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's get those likes up to 10. But
Well, I guess you can argue tiebreaker in that, given as before, whatever vote there is, higher or lower, means more people think more, right? So more people think he's A or higher than B or lower, if you're mathing it, right?
if you want to do that, sure.
Because otherwise, you could ask the S to vote for A and still, you know, whereas the C's aren't going to vote for B, you know?
Yeah.
Gosh, I tie break the math. Hmm.
Math is useful for something.
I like science. Wait, wrong Spock. Right, beard though.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm happy to say 15 votes, that gets the A then. Which does
sure.
leave some wiggle room. Because wiggle
Sure.
room is important.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Okay.
I probably would have also selected A personally. So
Yeah, yeah, if you can't go higher, then there's definitely places to go that are higher. Okay, we're throwing a random one while people submit their thoughts, comments, and questions. Well, yeah, that's why I say the other thing. I put loads of random people, so I'm going to throw in, it's the one I have available, Soren from Generations, an Elorian, you know, Elorian that did kill the old Kirk.
he's kind of an idiot. There are other ways to get into the energy ribbon or the Nexus, I'm sure. I know he does say ships get destroyed, blah, blah, blah. He's tried everything over the years. But to redirect the path of it to a planet, I mean, that's a brilliant strategy in and of itself. But I don't buy for a second that there's not other ways to get into the energy Nexus. Like, let's be fair. We've talked about, I mean, Kirk got like zapped by a tendril of the thing that took out part of the ship and destroyed that part of the ship. So if a ship gets destroyed going near it, cool. You know what I mean? Like you chances are you're going to end up in it anyway. And if you don't, you're dead. So who cares? I mean, it's a good gamble, I think. Like,
But
what scientific research did he do to know that if it hit the planet, he would in fact be pulled into it and not destroyed?
but tactically, he does manage to blow up a planet, blow up a sun, which blows our entire solar
Close to the
system.
sun, yeah.
So tactically, you ain't wanting to fight this guy because he probably has some science. His weapon's probably quite effective for a reason. He tactically managed to coerce Klingons to do his bidding, ones that were almost powerful enough to take on the main empire, because it's the whole thing, right? And I believe in one of the things he is able to out fist fight Kirk, and if you say Kirk can out fist fight Khan, that means
Yeah, but
Soren.
Kirk's also a pathetic old man at that point. He's out of shape old
Oh
man.
no! What?
Come on.
No, he was reformed for the Nexus. He's probably spry and young and fresh.
Okay, that's actually pretty interesting logic.
Right. I mean, obviously, I'm throwing just Kirk Fu in the logic, etc. But tactically, he's an odd man, obviously, right? Tactically, he's probably, I mean, sciencey, he would win against Spock, I think, because he would go further than morals allow. Mirror Spock,
Mm.
but you know what I mean, like the normal Spock, right? He would go further and probably achieve more, like Sung in Enterprise, right? He's able to go one step further morally, and therefore, but he can fist fight, he can shoot straight sometimes, but it's not up to us. You guys vote. What, Barry? What? Why would he hate it? It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I just think that there are more clever ways that he could have tried to get into the. I mean,
But it's tricky because the fact that
It
that was
is.
the only way that worked implies that's the only way that was going to work.
Well, it's
Otherwise, he
not the only
wouldn't.
way that worked because Kirk got in the Nexus by being on a ship that got lashed out at by a thing. I mean, it's a random chance maybe, but I just like to
Yeah.
know the research he did. I'd like to know Soren's story. Like, how often did he try to get into the Nexus? How, what kind of research did he
Mm-hmm.
do?
Mm-hmm. What were
Like,
his
that'd be
failures looking
interesting.
like?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's a because he had a lot of years, although I don't necessarily think he tried from day one,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, you are looking at it. Really took him that long to just say that'd be the only option. Like, really? Okay.
And Dan says Barry F. Who? Malcolm McDowell, Soren. The actor wasn't the biggest fan of Star Trek, so
And you don't have to be, you know, obviously of
no.
Star Trek, but you'd like to think that they'd have a
And
nice enough time working on things.
he likes rubbing it into the fans, where the fans are like, how's it feel to kill Captain Kirk?" He's like,
Mm.
I loved it.
I
Yeah,
mean, at that point, you might as well, you know,
yeah.
embrace the madness. Vote now and submit ideas, guys, for the
Let's see, we have
verses.
14 votes. We have 12 people here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Um, if you haven't voted, go vote. Yeah, let us know which
Wow,
tactically minded characters you'd like to see.
that is a really interesting poll.
It
I
is.
did not expect a disparity like that. Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I don't know, man.
That's harder to call because it's not A still wins, but it's so interesting. It's kind of like first past the post, right? Whoever gets the highest number, even if the majority don't vote for it.
Yeah.
That's not how that works,
It's
but that's yeah,
it's
voting.
interesting to see the division in the community though.
Yeah.
Like we don't really get a sense of that
Uh-uh.
generally.
Uh-uh. Well, it's like with the Lego Enterprise D, our enthusiasm was such, but then we looked at the poll and it's like most people won't get it. It's like, oh, yeah,
Barry F says, "What's tactical mean?"
yes,
Tactically minded people that get what they want through a series of strategic choices, and
hmm
I don't know the exact definition of tactical.
yeah. It's a combination. It's physically able, it's intelligently able, it's strategically able. It's the plethora, right? Where you might have somebody who is very physically strong but a dumbass, so he'll average out to some heights some points, but doesn't mean otherwise. Or you might get someone who's physically weak but able to do everything under the sun. So it's it's kind of the broad spectrum, and it's things that's why you voting is interesting because we can put our points forward to it. We can have a gut reaction, but you guys are judging what it means.
Yep.
Ah,
You guys are in charge here.
and with PayPal 2 for 1, which is beautiful. Everyone guys put on the PayPal 2 for 1? Let's get this chart filled, and one of them's already up there. I will get the other.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess I'll close out the poll. I mean, A
Yeah,
wins. I don't think he's A worthy personally. I don't think he should be up there with Mir Spock. But I mean, you guys have spoken.
yeah. People have spoken. That's really interesting.
Although if we use math, we could average it out to get the actual thing.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know how to do that. So
I like science.
that's great. I don't like math. All right, we'll put him at A. I totally disagree, but it ain't up to me.
Well, he's the sort of guy that if you gave him a science problem and it allowed for murder, destruction, he'd probably have a great idea. You know?
And to be fair, I'm gonna add something here because he did
Mm.
he did rework Jordy's visor to
Mm-hmm.
help them out. So I mean that's something.
Where Geordie couldn't tell it went through Enterprise shields. A flawless use case of that. So that was entirely him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I still disagree with him being an A, but hey, what are you gonna do? All right, let's see what the PayPals are PayPaling.
First one is up, but guys, do submit the PayPal. It's the best way. 2 for 1. We love it.
Yes. So we have got. It'll open up. Jesus Christ. Schmo Buddy. Shran is the first one, and I mean he's an Andorian. They are known for their fighting skills, their I suppose their tactical abilities. Trying to think of any specific instances because in the last episode he really kind of drops the ball. He goes to rescue his daughter and gets it's not the best.
Doesn't
But
everyone
you
drop
know,
the ball in the episode though? So
yes, he's emotionally compromised because his daughter's involved. Maybe.
very fair. So I feel like you can add on to him the he's a good fighter like a lot of Andorians. But is he the most tactically able ship captain on that side? I wouldn't necessarily. I'd say he was better than average. I wouldn't say he was extra good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if we saw enough Andorians to really get a feel for other captains. I mean, how
True.
they would handle situations. But I mean, it's Jeffrey Combs.
Well,
He gets points for that.
sort of sidestepping a little bit, but who's more tactically able? Wayoon or Shran? In obviously the wide conversation that we're having, right?
Well, probably Wayun because he's
Mm-hmm.
thinking on a larger scale. It's a
Mm-hmm.
whole war that he's orchestrating, as opposed to a captain who's put in a situation has to deal with the situation.
That's what I was kind of alluded to. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah.
It's sad when you have to sort of sidestep a little bit when era, but people at NX era, they have less resources, less knowledge, less build over experience. So, would somebody in the later era just be more tactically able because they are able to get all of the history books and learn all the things, right? If you know can Krav Maga be more able to be a useful fighting style than a 26th century amalgamation of 50 different alien things? If it is, it's very impressive, but I would assume not. So same thing, a tactician with future knowledge, you would think would be higher anyway. But I'm not just going to assume everyone is higher by default. But and it's worth asking the question.
But we know the Andorians are warlike, and so that would imply some kind of good tactical experience, but on the part of their captains at least.
Mm-hmm.
They have more of an offensive take on things rather than defensive.
True.
So it's a different mindset, which is
Mm-hmm.
again to be. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah.
Yeah, he
Let's
clearly
see
must
here.
be good given the rank. But I wouldn't say he was the best of the best. But that's also okay, right?
Yeah, Mr. Captain 93, Shran FCA.
The bad Trojan at
It's
the
right on the
top.
top there. Yeah,
Yes.
Trekyards at hotmail.com.
2 for 1. Thank you in advance. And 2 for 1. So, give us 4, give us 6, give us 8, give
Or
us 100. Oh,
or you can bump people. It's $5 per tier if you do super chat. It's for PayPal. It's $5 for 2 tiers. If you want to bump them down or up, it's up to you.
yeah.
All right, so let's close this one out.
Pretty
14
strong winner.
votes. 50% pick S. Tie for A and B. Wow.
Most tactical. Interesting. So he beats, by the people, he beats a mirror version of Spock. Okay.
I disagree. But
Well, there you go.
all right. And then the second part of that PayPal was Kira. Kira
Mm-hmm.
Nerys. She is very tactically minded because she was a resistance fighter. So
And a
and
successful
then
one,
yes,
because they win in the end.
and then she gets in a position where those kind of tactics don't work necessarily because it's not the right thing to do when you're in the position that she's in. So she has a broad overview of different ways to deal with situations with a like down and dirty guerrilla warfare type and then moving up to the more political end of the spectrum. So she's got a very broad knowledge base as to how things work and how to get things done. And they often conflict with each other. So, yeah, I think out of necessity, she was a resistance fighter, did things she needed to do out of necessity, got into a position where she was pulling the strings a little bit and in a respected position. And so she's definitely evolved in her tactical mindset. And it's funny, it's not funny, it's fun to watch when those things contradict each other. Like the simple thing to do would be to go in, blow it up, get the person back. But politically now she's got to kind of duck and weave and figure out other ways to do it. So yeah, I think tactically minded, she's right up there. She would definitely be um, in the upper echelon of these people because she's got so much experience.
Oh, that's fine, Bad Dragon. Thank you for your pun. It's funny because I don't recall what she did in the Resistance, as in they presumably had hundreds, if not thousands, of people doing various things, and because they didn't have many ships, it was all ground based. So for the most part, it was just troops firing phasers and laying traps, right? So the skill level, if you're just most people, is just phaser combat, which is important, but it's not as if they're doing large tactical engagements with ships or fighters. Some yes, lots no. So that's where she comes from, right? So if you go in for a fight, she has some skin in the game kind of thing. But spaceship combat, she learned, but I would put her average compared to a lot of people for space combat, because that's not her forte, nor would it need to be, right? And that's a segment of tactical minded, right? I'd expect Soren to be better ship combat, maybe because he's had hundreds of years experience, and certainly Mirror Spock and certainly Shran, right? So that's a sidestep. But as a team leader, that's another thing, right? She obviously can lead a team, and politics is kind of combat, definitely tactical, right? So it's different aspects to take into account, guys.
What's the thing? In the Resistance, she had to cover all bases. She had to be frontline. She had to be a group leader at some point. Other times she was not in charge. Like in the Resistance, she had a broad spectrum of things she had to do depending on the situation. So it's kind of dipping your toe into everything. Yeah, she was probably a decent enough pilot, stuff like that. So there's a lot to consider for her.
But also, she might be a B at most things, you know?
The jack of all trades.
Master of none. Exactly.
Master of
Exactly where I was
none,
going. Because as Devereaux says, hey, Raj, Devereaux says, she wasn't a leader, she was a member of the Resistance. Yes. And I think probably a certain amount of why she got the job Deep Space Nine is because she said yes. Not because she was necessarily the best or the most wanted, but she actually said yes. I'm sure people did not say yes to work there, right? And that's fair.
To say she wasn't a leader, she was just a member of the Resistance, that's fine and dandy. But when the plan goes wrong and you have to make those decisions, then guess what? You just became the leader of that particular engagement and or group of people that you have working with you. So I don't agree with the whole she wasn't a leader thing. She was a leader in a lot of ways, and a lot of people looked up to her in a lot of situations based on what happened or what the situations that where things went wrong and you need to step up. So I kind of disagree with you, Devo.
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
There is no leader of a resistance. There's like resistance cells because you can't have one head, really.
Yeah. No, that's a super fair point. That's a really well said piece, and it's clear. I would say it was clear that she would only be looked at for this role because she showed through time moments where she stepped above just being part of the team and showed skill above that, as you say, as a leader. And given the insanely higher tactical ability of the Cardassians, they probably were on a losing foot in most. They probably lost people at every single engagement, right? Just unfortunately, so she probably had to step up quite a few times. Yeah. But as always, guys, you decide.
She was an assassin. Odo connected her to killing a shopkeeper who had her. Yep. She did fly an impulse raider with Dax. Yep. Kira successfully blockaded the Bajoran moon against the Romulans and was the one chosen by the Federation to be tactical advisor to the whole Cardassian uprising. It's a good point, Gorgonzola. Tactical advisor. I guess that says tactical minded or tactically minded. So
But I still wouldn't say I would still say she was above average. Like I would think Mirror Spot could out many things her. But that's we're looking extremes, right? But again, not up to us. I would say she's a strong mid because she is such a broad spectrum with a couple of things she excels at. But I wouldn't give her various things as a top choice. But also, but you could rely on her so well in many things, and that is important.
Well, we got 22 votes on the poll.
Ooh.
Which is great. It's close between S and A.
Okay.
But A is going to clinch it, I think, with 45%. S was at 41%.
Okay.
It's very close.
I love it. We're learning stuff. I like it. Beautiful. Ooh, we've got another 2-for-1 PayPal, which we love. Keep those coming, guys.
Let me see. Right. Oh, I should end the poll. There. So next up, we've got. Don't know if he wants me to say his name, so I'm not going to. But $5. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Con. Okay.
And we tend to default to the first one.
Yeah.
So I'll find TOS Con. I don't think I have one for him up.
So we'll get your TOS Con here in a second. Yeah, TOS Con. So he was exiled from Earth. Oh, there he is right there.
Oh, good. All right.
Sorry,
Hey,
he was exiled from Earth and frozen and dethawed. I mean, he lost on Earth after years of being successful. So I mean, everybody has a bad day, right? Gets exiled, meets up with Kirk, and adapts very well to the new surroundings, being in the future, space travel, things like that. He learns, does a lot of reading in sick bay, and learns about the ship and it's how it functions, and gets some people on his side. Even he gets Marla MacGyver's kind of coerces her to help him out. He's a good strategist, good at playing chess. Like tactically, he would definitely have an edge because he did lead essentially the Supermen in the war on Earth. Does a pretty good job. Almost gets Kirk killed. Almost takes over Kirk's ship to kind of be done in by Marla MacGyver's the woman. And then gets the reprieve of we're gonna get to have our own colony or our own planet that we can shape
it's
and mold
going
any
to
way we
go
want.
great.
It's gonna be awesome.
No problems.
Listen to the YouTube podcast thing. And yeah, I think he might have wanted to give up his ambition to settle down somewhat, but he would also be the leader of an entire planet. So it's tactically, I think he's got a very good head on his shoulders, but he does kind of overcompensate for a few things. And I think the older Khan would be less tactically inept, or more tactically inept, but less tactically able, because the old Khan is going on rage and not thinking straight. This one's more cool, more calm, more collected, more measured. He had just suffered a defeat on Earth because that's what they got, sent out into space, exiled. But yeah, I think this one's more measured than the Khan from Wrath of Khan. That's my take.
Yeah, I hadn't considered that, but yeah, you break down the emotional state. I mean, he's wonderfully calm. That's kind of the fun. He's come from a place of absolute dominance, despite loss. Absolute dominance. And yet, But in this new place with, many advantages, he's able to take over very quickly. But I mean, had the Enterprise known who he was, he would have, still been at the foil of a phaser shooting him, right? So he's lucked out in the situation where I'm not knowing who he was. Even though Spock knew about his great. We're
not getting into that.
Yep. Physically, he's very strong.
Wasn't that many grades either.
No, well, yeah, you're right. Physically strong, except against pipes, so be careful. But yeah, he would be the strongest. I assume is he stronger than Mirror Spock? Do you think?
I would think so, yeah.
Or very close.
Probably close, but
yeah,
I would. Yeah, I'd give the edge to Khan.
I would give the edge to yeah. With controlled rage, which is important. Tactically, yeah, he's definitely... I mean, the fact that he was the Emperor, he was the Lord, he was the Tyrant, and based on how he plays in all of his appearances, he's a very forward... He's at the front line of the thought process. He was not the sort of Emperor, I think you can tell, who would stand by and let his generals run everything. He is making the choices. So if there's a strategy where he takes over Singapore, probably his strategy. All right? Probably him whatevering. So I would say he's got to be pretty high on this. Flawed and of his time, but it's you got to take a little bit of relativisticness to it as well, And obviously, if you do include John Harrison, which is in theory TOS Khan plus, right? Then he was. I know. I'm just saying that. Then he was able to. At least had the potential to outsmart Starfleet and Klingons and, an Admiral and... Right? And
that Khan's his own Khan. Like that. He has to be brought in specifically to talk about him.
Yeah. Indeed.
Let's see what you guys are saying. 22 votes again with this one, which is great. Thank you for voting, guys. 36% of you say A.
Oh, but...
C is second place.
Yeah.
With 32%, which is also close.
That shows how important voting is, that you could change metrics really quick. Wow. S at 14% and B at 18%. So that is a really interesting split where people have some similar thoughts. Right.
There we go. A's filling up fast.
I like it.
And the second part of that PayPal was, for some reason, I don't understand why, Season 3 Beverly Crusher. So this is Beverly Crusher after coming back from Starfleet Medical. Kicked Pulaski off at an airlock, something. I don't know what she did. What did she do in Season 3? I don't even know.
She got a power loader, got in front of Pulaski and said, "Get away from them, you bitch." And then she
saved Data from Pulaski. Great.
She did. She Yeah. And as you can note in the poll, guys, we are not assuming she would be an A or an S, because that's silly. So we're putting the four that closely reflect. We're not even letting you be silly, because you got to be practical on this.
We should make a rule. But if somebody like Classic Free was here and chose this, and he wants her to be an S, he'd have to PayPal in $20 to just give her an S.
Right?
Because he would do those silly things. But it's
right?
Gonna hurt, so he doesn't just do it for everybody.
Right?
Anyway, I don't know what she did in Season 3. She came back from the dead, essentially, because she was gone for Season 2. So yay for her. But I don't know if I should pull up a list of Season 3 episodes. Let's see if there's anything. Do you have anything?
Not on my head. I'm wondering, is that the season where she had the static warp shell? Because she was,
I think that might be.
Because that I would
possibly.
Because there's that, and there's Descent where she shows.
Well, that's definitely not Season 3.
But she shows tacticalness, I can assume.
And neither is the one with the Ferengi scientist and the sun. That's also not Season 3.
No.
Evolution, the Ensigns of Command.
I mean, can you give us some
Survivors.
context why season 3? I mean, hey, you guys are putting what you think.
Who watches the Watchers? The Bonding. Is that the one with the Trill? In which case, she's really stupid in that one because she just falls for his pillow talk.
Hmm.
I think is that the bond? I don't even know if that's the bonding. Whatever. Booby trap. Nothing. The enemy. The price. The vengeance factor. The defector. The hunted. The high ground.
Anakin?
That was.
What?
Huh?
Anakin?
The high ground. That's the one that was a terrorist that was banned in the UK.
She was in that.
Yeah, she was the main focus of that one.
The main foil.
Yesterday's Enterprise was season 3, really?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was a lucky
They peaked
season.
early.
I was gonna say.
Wow.
Well, you guys vote.
Bad Trojan says Picard season 3. Oh, was that your PayPal?
Why didn't you clarify?
Yeah, that's definitely a big thing.
Well,
Okay,
let this one go through and then put another one because we're
we
nice.
will rank her.
But that was on you for not saying, because we would not have assumed season 3 of Picard, because she's only in 10 episodes, and then TNG season 3 she's in 26. So
you need to specify for sure.
That's on you. There you go. 2 Beverleys on the board. Not what we thought this thing was going.
All right, let's end the vote. 16 votes. F wins with 56%. B comes in at 19%. What a disparity that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
And guys, submit your ideas, because we are at the beck and call to create this chart. We would love to do more of these, but if the interest is not there, we won't do more of this style.
Well, this was a bad one to start with, to be fair. Should be captains or ships or something.
Well, tactical weapons be like guns, etc., etc.
Nah, I disagree. Tactical people. This is a weird one to start with, in my opinion. But that's all right.
Testing the water.
All right, so Picard season 3 Beverly. I think the reason you might have said tactical was because she's literally a tactical on the Enterprise. Which I thought was stupid to begin with, but whatever. Here we are. What else did she do in season 3? She told Picard that she tactically chose to never tell him about his kid and hide his kid from him and hide her kid from his father, and that's tactically.
Well, no, the first scene she fights raiders on the Helios and succeeds
with a phaser shotgun.
With a phaser shotgun, and then gets them escape. She's able to, via context clues, protect her son against everybody for a long time. She's the one that uses auto-targeting on Enterprise D to fire torpedoes and phasers. I'm just saying, like, the computer has a tactical program. She's just telling it where to target and then pressing fire, or like she's not manually doing everything. She's just doing Worf's job well. But you know, that's
Fair
not
enough.
Yeah. I mean, Geordi did the same thing. Data did the same thing. But you know, they could all do the same thing. It's just she was very vicious about it in a fun way. She's like, haha. Although also the cube is like the size of the Death Star, not really, but like huge. So those things aren't even going to matter. Anyway. So I've not put S, because of course she's not S, even at season 3. She would be, physically, well, exactly. Everyone in S and A thoroughly out tacticals her by a mile. But all respect, she has much more tactical ability than F, and I'm still surprised they didn't make her a ginger, given that she's been a ginger for her entire career. I don't know why they made her black hair. It's like, why was she? I guess she did. So was she dyeing her hair ginger in TNG, or was she dyeing her hair black in Picard, as in the character Beverly Crusher? Because she's a redhead. Redheads don't go black hair in their old age, surely. So
that's a choice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, which choice?
She doesn't want people saying that she didn't have a soul anymore.
I know, just
she obviously wore a wig in TNG, so.
Yep. Yeah.
Bad Trojan says, I figured it meant after 25 years she's now badass. And no.
Also,
she's more badass
Yeah.
because of
Hmm.
the shit she's been doing,
Hmm.
but still, she's not a super badass. She couldn't take on Khan or.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's obviously learned she's a phaser more than her original
Yeah.
repertoire, but I do not think that knowing who she is as a character, she would opt to fight. Right? She'd be more able to fight if she was called upon to fight, but she wouldn't go into a fight willingly. And that's the difference between. I mean, clearly everyone at SNA, they will willingly go into a fight and do well. She will willingly defend herself well because she's more able. Right? That's the fun line of the question, right? You know,
Mhm.
not in the same literal way, but Picard would willingly go into a fight, as in willingly be in a fight, but he wouldn't actively search for a fight most of the time. Whereas Cisco would actively search for a fight, right? And Kirk would kind of be in the middle, you know. Different captains, different choices. But yeah, vote now. You guys, if you guys think the A, then you guys are voting the A. And super chat and PayPal your suggestions, because that is how we drive this show.
Yes, indeed. Uh, Very F. They should be able to use transporters to implant hair. Sure. As Dan says, there's an episode in TNG where there's a lady behind Mr. Mott and the Geordie, and there's just waving a wand, changing her hair color in different colors. So it's the future, man. She could pick whatever hair color she wants every morning. But anywho's, and yeah, Bad Trojan clarifies with $2. Card season 3, yes. Be clear in the PayPal's. PayPal doesn't have a text limit, so you don't have to worry about a super chat where you have to keep it confined to a certain number of characters. She was willing to. She willingly fought to protect the Baku in Star Trek Insurrection. Well, yes, they all did.
Which is part of the badassery, right?
Yeah.
And, in between this, I mean, she did bravely hide in her sun, but bravely risked her entire crew and the knowledge of her officer. That's a brave thing to do, right? That's a brave and tactical thing. So she did, and it would have been nice to see her do more bridge-based things. Hard to justify, of course, but would have been nice to see. Would have been cool for her to appear in like DS9 as like the captain of, not say the Pasteur, but a ship would have been kind of cool. Highly
All
reversed
good things.
TNG.
All good
Yeah.
things in time, my friend.
Yes, Captain Picard. What? Yes.
Well, 20 votes is a good number of votes.
Mm.
And D wins with
Ah.
45%. Now, the weird thing is A and C are at 20% each.
Hmm.
But no, I think D's
And we
perfectly
gave
fair.
you guys the full plethora of choice. So you guys, you know, you guys put in your choice. Interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where don't blame us.
Yeah. But we have another 5. Oh, fantastic. Good, fantastic choices. One I already have up. And
Okay.
really great. Hey, great choices. Let me start the poll for them. Interesting to know about
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Our second sing.
So, the Bad Trojan, I believe that's who this is. Juan Noonien Singh. Yeah, there she is. Strange New Worlds. She, yeah, having the advantage of having some augmented DNA. It's never really made clear how much it affects or influences her cognitive abilities or whatever. But you think, you know, she'd have some kind of slight advantage. Uh, okay. I didn't like her character in season 1. She definitely grew on me. Fantastic character, well thought out. Um, uh, her past gives her a more tactical advantage or mindset regarding the Gorn and whatever. That's fine, but she fucked it all up by shooting a defenseless Gorn murdering it.
Injured, not that she knew, but injured defensive
Yeah.
scorn.
Yeah. Which is not a good tactical. That's a bad tactical decision. It might have seemed like a good tactical decision at the time, but she didn't cover all the options and all the bases on that before making a decision. So that's a big hit against her, in my opinion. Other than that, she does pretty good job most of the time of splitting teams correctly to send the right people. I don't know. She doesn't really do too much tacticalness, really, that I can think of. I mean, she probably does, but
Well, do you remember I
um,
made the? I mean, when it's remember, but I made a joke with her in Vegas about how are you going to hold a phaser in season
yeah,
3? She's like, I do, I have, and she couldn't think of anything.
yeah,
Which is don't need to have a phaser, right? But it's like, yeah, actually, it's like, yeah, does she really?
yeah.
Uh hmm,
She
yeah.
did some temporal shenanigans, so she might be recruited by temporal investigations or whatever at some point. I don't know. I think she took a real hit when she just killed an injured Gorn. That really kind of didn't speak well to. Yeah, I don't got anything else. Bad Trojans saying S. Shamrock is just saying S. I mean, if you guys want to lock in an S by, I don't know how to do that actually. We'll see how the poll turns out because the poll is not leaning towards the S scale at all.
Yeah, if you want to break democracy by becoming tyrannical, we do allow that.
The best way to do that is with money. So we'll decide after the poll is done what the options are to move her up should you wish to. How's that?
Yeah, because that's the great thing about democracy. Money wins. No,
It does, sadly.
yeah, because it supports the channel, and supporting the channel means more of this stuff to come. So that's that's the win in the end. No, Lan's an interesting one because I do not necessarily think that her being a Noonien Singh is nepotism and would get her preferential treatment in Starfleet.
No.
Right? So therefore, if anything, it's going to be a slight negative that she's got some legacy of augmentation, as we know how enough to get her in the door and not be thrown out. So if she's even, let's say, 20% against her rep, then be able to be assigned chief security officer of the flagship. That means she must be excellent in several ways to be the one of the highest in that rank. So already you're assuming she's a best of the best, and she's always very capable. She clearly has good fighting style, good phaser skills. We've not seen space battles really, and Trek doesn't really do good space battles either. They're all kind of piss poor to mid. So I've never got a sense. Whereas I know for a fact that Malcolm Reed can use weapons for the ship very effectively and have strategy to win the space battle. I have very little confidence in knowing how good she is in a space battle. Right? She can fire a phaser, yes. Does it do anything? Right? So I'm not going to give much credit to that. Nor do you necessarily put a space battle based officer on the ship because you don't necessarily want war. So she is a good team leader some, but she's also a lone wolf primarily. She'd rather go in, her and phaser firing. So she's a really interesting mixed bag. In theory, she ticks all the boxes, but in practice, she's a really good security officer.
Yeah.
Does not mean she's a good tactical officer or ship's weapons officer.
Yeah.
Those are not things that she is primarily seen to do. So great, yes, amazing, no. And if you're looking on averages across the board, like Kira, like we said, far more across the board. She's more specialist, I would say. So I would say Kira's higher, even though Arn you'd think would have a bigger. So yeah, interesting pick because I think most people would say, "Oh, she's great." They start
Well,
debating, discussing.
we got an F, we got two S's, we've got a B plus, we got a B. It's kind of all over the place, and the poll is not reflecting any of those. So
That's the lowest I gave. I gave people S. I gave the option for S. There, what I benefit of the doubt was there. But
S and A is tied with 18% each.
but
B
even
is 9%.
but even majority wise, she's still majority C. Even if you add everything else
Yeah.
up, so I mean
I know.
that's yeah.
So
Okay.
55% of 22 of you say that she is a C. Yep. I'm fine with that, actually. I probably, if it was just us deciding, I probably would have said maybe a B minus. But then after our talk about what she's actually done, I think I might have capitulated and gone with a C. So anyway, she's written by a gang of putzes. Yes, nobody she is, but that's fine. They're better than the other gang. It's fine. And the second part of that PayPal was Reed from Enterprise. Well, he invented the Reed alert. So, I mean, yeah. Again, I don't get much of a tactical vibe from him as much as, his family was in the military. He was in the Navy or the whatever he was in. I don't get much of a tactical mindset from him. He's kind of brutish in his tactics somewhat. I mean, it was good enough. He was good enough to catch the attention of Section 31, if you want to believe Section 31 existed back then, but whatever. Um, so I mean, there's something about him that's, the Enterprise. He's the tactical officer. He's the head of security, whatever. He's got that moniker. That's fine. But honestly, he got beat up in a cellar with Trip and had his clothes stripped off and shit stolen from him because he was on vacation. That's kind of an idiotic thing to do. Most tactical officers probably wouldn't find themselves in that situation. So, how good could he be, really? I think he does. He does grow a little bit during the course of the show, but at the same time, he's also going head to head with the lead Mako guy, whipping his dick out, having a dick measuring
It's a big
contest.
dick.
Yeah, just for the sake of it, just because he feels jealous and threatened about his position on the ship, doesn't think that the Mako need to be there. Um, Again, I don't necessarily think that's the best book for a security
It's very
officer.
human though.
It is absolutely,
Very
um,
relatable.
and it's very over the top at first. They do kind of punch each other, and then they're kind of more cool with each other,
As
and
men
that's
do.
fine. Yeah, exactly. Uh, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of tactical things that really stand out from him.
Well,
But
unfortunately,
he's
you're also thinking of the scenario of what things stand out from him, as is the problem of being an Enterprise character.
well, that's what I was just going to say. I was just getting to there.
Yep.
That unfortunately they weren't all painted with a good brush. He had more of a dimensionality to him than Mayweather did, but he was one that kind of fell off a tad, I think. Um, he likes pineapple. We found that out about him. Whoop de doo, and he's also allergic to it. Uh, like, you know what I mean? Never really fleshed out as well as he could have been. So
Poor Enterprise. I call it vanilla for a reason.
yeah,
You know, I mean, as much as we like him, doesn't mean it's necessarily that good. Yeah, same logic applies to. And guys, he's our last in the buffer. So put in now Super Chat or PayPal. We encourage PayPal, of course. Yeah, he is. I mean, you would think he'd be exceptional because he is handpicked to be the first Deep Space Explorer officer, tactical officer. That's that. Also, there's now a PayPal and a Super Chat, which is fantastic.
perfect.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the pick. But he's the pick when it comes to monistic military technician. They've not done space battles, right? Starfleet hasn't really done that. Even if this lad was on a ship, did some missions, that ship is not going very far to even necessarily be in any space battles with anybody. So he probably has zero experience in that regard, except training simulations, which is not really right. I do think he's a good firefighter. I get the sense in the show he's a good tactical firefighter. He definitely leads his team well. So 100% ground leader like Kira. 100%, right? I give him that. I think he does a lot of the development of the tech on the ship for tactical. So engineering wise, he understands the tech. He can improve the tech. He does improve the tech. and he pushes it to be better. So he's definitely a um a coordinator, a leader, and a team player. So that stuff absolutely fantastic, and he's definitely a pioneer as well. Brave as hell. He's going out, and he comes from a military family, so he's very disciplined, etc. And you've got, because of, unlike Enterprise D, which you talked about for Beverly, where auto aim is a thing. Also, where phaser strips are such they can target various places. He's got to manually like the phase cannon's got to turn to fire a lot of the time, right? And there's not auto aim, I would assume, for the phase cannons in the same way. So for most space battles where he is the one who's doing the shield control, the phaser control, and the targeting, you got to give him most credit, like percentage credit for most of those space battles. That he's getting the kits, he's picking the targets, he's keeping them right. That's him on his station, busy as hell. It's not the computer, it's not engineering. So while he might not be the show off, he probably is the one keeping them alive most of the time. And out of everybody in this, he probably has the per capita of what he's doing manually, the most tactical experience space battle wise of anybody here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else here has done more space battles? And had the control of them?
Yeah, okay. Sure.
That's what I mean. Like, it's a really interesting perspective when you take into that. You know, he's doing a lot of stuff. So I would give him, for his time, ultra high marks. That's why he's been picked. Comparatively, he's getting bitch slapped by everyone in A, physically. But he's not the strong guy. He's the tactician of his era, though. So, you guys vote, but that's my argument. I think I gave quite a good one. So, there you go.
It is. But with 22 votes, 73% pick A, which means S could have been a possibility.
Highest win so far. Dominic
But
Keating, highest
those
majority.
people might have selected S, because that's...
Well, yes, but he's not an S.
Well, it's according to you.
Well, yes. Yeah.
Anybody that thinks he's an S, put S in the chat right now. Because I don't think he's an S.
No.
But I just...
Yeah, no, fair. Wow. I mean, hey, $2. We'll re-roll, which is fair. $2. I'll re-roll with S, A, B, and C. If you guys really think the S will win, put in 2, anybody, and I'll do that. Absolutely fair.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Royce.
Well done. That's the best win so far. So congrats to Enterprise for coming out strong there. Hey, Donnie.
And Royston S. barely throws in $2. Did any TNG or DS9 writers have military experience? I don't know. I would hope so. Especially DS9, where they're actually writing about for a war, like have some kind of knowledge base about it, would be awesome. But I don't know. So Korat gives an S. Shamrock puts an S or an A. George J puts an S. Koromar says I lie. F minus. You got a Cardassian symbol for your avatar, so you know. The bad Trojan puts in $2 and says, let's do it. All right. So we're new poll.
Yeah, man. Okay. You guys have the... Are you starting to do it, or do you want me to do it?
I'll do it.
Yeah. You guys have the say. In terms of military experience, I mean, I would assume some, but also it's not the 60s, right? There was no... People weren't forced to fight, so you have to have people who were in some level of military and then went out of it to then become writers, so the chance of that is a lot lower in the TNG era. I mean, nowadays it's going to be even lower, right? But you'd like to think that some writer on some script asked some friend who was in the military some advice. Because,
maybe,
you know, like that, like the story with there's so much heart with the O'Brien episode with his commander Maxwell. It feels like there's something there from military experience or just inspired writing.
That for sure was, yes.
So someone there. And Jellicoe as well a little bit. Feels like someone had a bit of an insight into strategy, like higher level tactical thinking that isn't just written. But that's also just because it's so well done, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are based on stories too. The whole Dominion War, well, the whole Bajoran Cardassian conflict is very reminiscent of World War II. So there's you can base your stories on real stories that have happened, which I think a lot of writers would probably do. They not necessarily have the military experience per se, but Yeah, anyway. So last poll we had 23 votes. This one we have 10 currently, but go vote, guys. We want to get those. We'd like to get 23 again just to get the definitive take for that.
And you're seeing the game, so start putting in more. We have 2 lined up via PayPal. PayPal's are absolutely fantastic. So we love the 2 for 1. I mean, it's such a great thing to do. And you can just put in 250 on the PayPal for 1. It's 2 for 1 or 1 for half. So if you have an idea, throw it in. Or hey, let me be radical. Put in 10 on the PayPal, do 4. Right? Put loads in. Because it's a really interesting graph so far, but we'd love to get way more.
Or put 20 in PayPal and say you want season 3 Beverly as an S. That's a
If you want. Yeah, I mean, sure. We just work here. You guys have the power. Yeah, vote in the poll. Because I am pleasantly shocked. And it's funny, because if this is reflective of what people think, then when we did this and we voted, people must be, God damn it, I don't agree with you guys, because we are not necessarily vote.
Well, how ironic would it be to have 2 Enterprise characters in S and no one else?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty interesting.
That doesn't work for me, guys.
Oh. No, it's interesting. I mean, all respect for, the
Although,
show.
to be fair, with the era that Enterprise is set in and the kind of technology they're dealing with, the tactics are super important.
Yeah.
Considering there's only one fucking ship out there
Mm-hmm.
for Starfleet that's out there doing things. They don't have backup. They don't have the Columbia yet. They don't have anything to come in.
And there will be no backup.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is not coming. There is none.
So, okay. I'm seeing where people are coming from, I guess, but
yeah, they did more with less.
Yeah.
And that's fair. That's fair. And yeah, the bravery. I mean, it you went to Starfleet Academy in any other era and cool, you're done tactical training. You're in a ship, there's hundreds of ships, thousands of officers. In XO1, you're one of like 26 officers who are tactically minded.
Yeah.
And you're going to be the best of the best, and you've only been on Earth, maybe some other colonies, maybe for... Right? Yeah.
Yeah. He also went against the wish of his family and joined Starfleet. That route instead of doing the naval thing.
Yeah. It's true.
Which was the tradition in his family. So, well,
democracy, man.
17 votes. 17 votes is good.
Yeah.
Yes, gets it with 76%. 78% now with 18. So there you go. I mean, you did it, guys.
Yeah. And thank you to the super chatter to have the reroll. There you go. Fantastic. I learned something today. Probably.
Moving right along, though. Who is next? We have a PayPal from. I don't know if he wants his name said. I don't know what his screen name is. So anyway, $5, which is 2 choices. So we got Ducat. That's an Gul Ducat, who is complicated. Let's put it that way. He is very tactically minded, but a lot of his plans kind of shit the bed. So maybe not the best. He's the best when he's coherent and in one of his good personalities, but he's schizophrenic and has multiple. So sometimes he gets ragey, sometimes he gets emotional, sometimes he gets very focused and driven.
Oh yeah, Robert.
It's kind of hard to say. I think as a whole, the fact he's a gull, I mean, he's got some tactical ability there, I'm sure, but his plans do tend to fail. So, I mean, he does think of a lot of really great contingency plans, like if there's a riot on the station, that goes into full lockdown. But then somebody outthought him and said, "This is you trying to be a coward, so you're going to stay on the stage." So they overrid his. It's a whole thing, right? The Kardashians. It's kind of like the Romulans, like exemplified. You don't trust anybody. You just, yeah. So I don't know. Was Gul Dukat a tactical genius? Yes, but also no. He had his moments. I think if he was more mentally stable, he would have been a better tactical genius. But yeah, that's what I got for him. I think he's probably up there for sure, but not always firing on all cylinders. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Well, he's uniquely in that he evolves, which is not the norm in most of these things, right? So, assuming the literal, right? He was a guy that was posted in an ore refining plant above Bajor, a slave colony. That was his role. Not an important role.
Well, it was one of many roles. That's one of the ones that one of his last roles. So yeah, it shows
Oh,
he was in
sure.
charge of different things. So he's kind of on the downwards.
Yeah,
slope.
he wasn't on a galore. He wasn't out doing anything properly important. That was a very replaceable
That's
role.
an interesting point. That's an interesting point.
So where we find him, he was mid totem pole. Now, Professor might have wanted that. He might have requested it, fine, but that's what we have. It's like Cisco, right? Cisco was given a semi-important mission. He improved his role. You know, that was not a good assignment. So same thing. He wasn't judged a high. He wasn't given captain of a ship, right? Or even a commander of a ship. He was. So Goldacott was not shown to be an important role. Now, he evolves, obviously, and tactically minded, yes, and you know, the fact that he is able to disable a bird of prey with a Cardassian ship is great, and then becomes hugely tactical in his run and gun. He becomes the Bajoran resistance. But he's also, you know, he also lets himself, quote unquote, be politically demoted down to a cargo ship for like 6 months, which is the lowest role pretty much you could have of disrespect. But then he also becomes the head of the council and then does a really good job being a lackey to the Dominion. He gets that, although he sort of just submits to their will, you know. Then he loses it again. He goes crazy, and then he has this great plan, shitty plan, to have cosmetic surgery to become a Bajoran, and then trick an old lady by sleeping with her, and then fire caves.
He doesn't know how to play the system somewhat. That's the thing. He knows how to play the political game.
Some games, sometimes,
yes,
with some
exactly.
people, in some way.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. He shouldn't be an A or an S. He's a guy that has genius. He's a guy that has madness. He's an idiot. He's a clever guy. Fundamentally, we saw him. He was the governor of a space station above Bajor that was a penal colony slave thing to have to mine. That's it. One galore would have been a higher rank for him. Right?
Wow, you just shit all over Goldacott.
Because that's the thing. That's the tactical he had in his career. He wasn't a young lad, right? And I appreciate the poll. I would, you know, I would be on the CB. I think you would put him as an A because of the things he did, and I would have fought for lower. But I wouldn't necessarily said C, but you know.
No, I think after your argument just now, I would have put him at a B.
Yeah.
So barely tactical.
Gorgonzola, I don't know. I was sort of being mildly mean to her to be funny. But also, you know, what is his relative age to his lifespan of his species?
Yeah.
Don't know. He might have been a youngster, really. Yeah. Wonderfully mid, but you can expect him to do something genius. And also get your ship destroyed. Because he also, I mean, maybe it was unmanageable odds, but one other time we see him, he's the captain of a Cardassian galore who's charged with taking the council out of Cardassian space, and he fails. He's rescued by Defiant, and had they not shown up, he would have been killed. So he does lose space battles. Now that, like I said, might have been a battle he can't win, but he also does lose space battles. He does lose fundamentally, so he's not this genius figure. It's interesting, yeah.
Don't forget, he used to be he used to be in command of a Galore class in TNG. Over like football pads, and he's had a very storied career. This guy.
Yep.
And his porn stash, his porn facial hair. You know, at the time, you know, it was a phase. It's fine. Well, let's see what you guys are saying. With 21 votes, C wins with 43%. Now, does this mean that there would be D's and F's? I don't think so for him. So I
Uh,
don't know if we need to redo the poll.
I don't think we need it, but if you guys want to re-roll so that we have to do that, I'm open to it. I'm interested for me lower, but yeah,
I can't see him being lower than a
yeah,
C.
yeah. Can I?
Because then he's down in Beverly territory, and that's just not
Yeah,
copacetic.
yeah. Interesting though.
I'm not super comfortable with him being at a C personally. I think he should be at a B at least, but whatever. I don't have a say in this. 21 votes. I'm going to end it with 43%. If you guys want us to redo it, because you think it might be lower,
Mm-hmm.
super chat in and we can try, I guess, but
We are open
open for business.
because we are here to learn.
I'm not.
Because I'm here to learn.
I'm here to be entertained. And
Are you not entertained?
I mean, sometimes. That Captain Foley guy, he's pretty entertaining sometimes.
I mean, he's all right.
Not as handsome as that other guy, but
What the trucker stew? Yeah, I know. He's a.
no. That commander guy.
Probably promoted to admiral one of these days. But
All right, so there was a
Oh.
second part to that PayPal.
yes.
Multicut was only the first.
Okay.
The second part is Worf. Now, which Worf? That's the question.
TNG
I'm
was
just
go the younger, so
And we'll go TNG. There'll be TNG Worf, then there'll be DS9 Worf, and then there's going to be Picard Worf. Should you guys choose?
yeah, TNG movies is kind of you could put TNG movies, but he's such a he has Gort, okay? Yeah,
Gorch.
Gorge.
Yeah. Okay, so Worf always constantly being told no. Kind of like Shax, I want to eject the warp core. No.
That must
No
have been this
firing.
internal reference, right? Tactical,
Oh, yeah.
always being told no.
Yeah. To be fair, he's very, he's a Klingon, so he's kind of on the aggressive side. So yes, he does want to fire. That's kind of like it's not necessarily the default, but it's right beside the default. Like things are getting a little bit difficult. Let's fire. You know. So getting told no is not a problem. He's the most Klingon of Klingons, as we've talked about before. He's very, you know, martial arts minded, very good fighter. Yeah, tactically, takes on a bunch of Jem'Hadar and survives and keeps going.
Well, that's DS9 one if it's separating out.
I know. Oh, that's true. Shit sakes. Anyway,
Yeah.
So he found his footing, let's say, because season one Worf was just background fodder, and then he, got bumped up in position, and you see a nice progression, I guess, over the course of TNG. He he makes some mistakes. Because I mean, in TNG, he goes to that colony where his dad was apparently, even though it's a DS9 crossover, so it's tricky. Was it DS9 or was it TNG? It's still TNG.
It's TNG episodes.
Yeah.
He wasn't on DS9 yet, so he's not DS9 Wolf yet.
Yeah.
He has
He
no
makes
idea.
he makes some mistakes. He also risks a mission to save Jadzia when they were working together.
Also DS9.
That is DS9. Shit sakes, man.
He didn't do as much on TNG. We get it.
You talk. I'll expound upon your point.
Hey, Mark Lawrence just did some epic PayPaling. Good job. You can stop putting those in whatever they are. I will get talking.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, this is difficult because he's limited by the script and story, but he is always the guy who did the phaser torpedoes on the ship. 100%, right? So every single space battle he gets credit, but also auto aim, that stuff is going to be more on Enterprise D. He does security officer, but there's the running gag, as we said. There's one doc interview behind the scenes where they're like, Worf is there as the bruiser to get beaten up, to therefore show the alien is a threat. Literally one of his roles. Michael Dorn noticed
Yes.
this
Yeah.
because if Worf gets beaten up, then it's a serious threat. The irony being is that when you then have a bingeable show versus at the time where you might have missed those one-off episodes, you notice here's a repeated situation of getting beaten up, which makes him seem weaker continuously, as is the don't shoot. These things, unfortunately, add up. But he does do all the space battles. He does do all of the... Every time there's a threat aboard, he's the one that is leading the charge in any which way. But I struggle to think of separate moments when he is the boss. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas DS9, he's featured a lot, so he has a lot of those moments. Now, the poll is throwing out his bold epicness. I get it. Would he be able to beat Shran and Reed in a fight? Yes. 100%. Would he be able to defeat them in a martial art fight with weapons? Yes, 100%. Would he be able to out-phaser them? I don't know. He's not very nimble. Quite a static guy. And I would assume the auto aim on TNG is better than that on Enterprise, so maybe not. I wouldn't necessarily call him a great phaser guy. I mean, he gets beaten by Guinan easily, but that was the joke of that scene, right?
Yeah.
But you would trust him in a space fight. You would trust him in a hand-to-hand. You would trust him in a land fight. You would, yeah. Is he the smartest guy though?
That's what I was just going to say. How much of it is tactical brilliance, and how much of it is just either brute force or just pressing a button, right?
Knowledgeful button pressing, but
yes, there's a brute forceness to him, and not a more refined tactical mindset.
Loaded question on the slight percentage. Would you say Tasha or Worf season TNG is more tactically minded?
Honestly, Tasha.
Because that was her role, was to be the smart lady, more so because she couldn't be the bruiser.
And she also had to survive her upbringing.
Yeah. So TNG Worf shouldn't necessarily be as high, based on our rudimentary or very clever argument. But as ever, with this particular format, you guys get the final say, and we have some lovely options now coming in, which is fantastic. Thank you for another super chat. Helps a lot, as you guys know. All adds up. So 21 votes, which is the full plethora. Does beat Reed, I think, just in terms of proportion. 76%. Not even close. So there you go. TNG Worf, we salute you. Now the question is, would DS9 Worf, if someone to put him in, be higher than 76% S? Would because he's in 3 Worf be higher, right? I don't know. Love it though. Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Mark Lawrence has PayPal'd in, and he's only selected one. Roga Danar said,
but
I'd want...
We can put some other quick ones as well, because we love... Yeah.
He said, I'd want him on my side. Now, you really like this episode.
Me or him? Me or Mark?
You
yes.
really like this episode. Yeah, he does amazing at getting away from the Enterprise and for trying to convince him that he is dead. And there's a whole slew of things that he does, which are super special forces like. And yeah, absolutely, I would want him on my side as well. You're absolutely correct. But he was also was he genetically modified or just trained specifically?
All of it.
Yeah.
Well, because he took phaser blasts.
Yeah. So he absolutely is, in my mind, an S tier. He's a one episode character, but he also played the guy in Voyager, the original medical officer in Voyager.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that till just the other day. I was like, yeah, it is.
Jesus.
Anyway,
less stubble, less hair. Oh. Huh.
But he's an asshole in that. So anyway, no, I think he's absolutely S tier. There's so many instances of him like breaking transporter beams as well. I believe they try to lock onto him and he breaks it. And yeah, tactically that's what he was designed for.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get an S, I'm gonna riot.
Oh yeah, for me, he is the biggest S so far,
Yep, absolutely.
and genetically modified does help. That unfortunately, Shran will be stunned, Reed will be stunned, Wolf will be stunned. This guy can take a stun. Now, in fairness, they do not. He does not know ship combat, but he knows ship tactics because he did beat the Enterprise in ship tactic literally. But if you put him in put him or Worf in a Burrell helm, Worf's gonna win that, right? But if you train this guy, he would be able to outsmart anyone in S. So better fighter, better tactician. He literally, I mean, watch the episode. He literally beats the entire crew, the entire episode at every single point. No one outthinks him at any point in the entire episode. He actually wins the episode. It's kind of shocking, and but it's not OP. It's just kind of fun. So he should
Space
be
John Wick.
Yeah, he should be the highest S here. Would be my absolute vote.
Yeah, me too.
And he does also lead the forces on the planet to coup the planet. So he clearly is a leader as well. Just saying.
Well, Stackball says if Worf is S tier, then a lot of other characters are as well. Sorry. Don't be sorry. We didn't put him there. You guys did. You'd have to talk to
Almost everybody did.
That. Yeah. And this guy's got to get S tier. We have 20 votes right now. We have currently 20 people here. Shit. Yeah. If you're just joining us and haven't voted yet, please go vote and vote for this guy because he deserves. Actually, he's tied. S and B. There he is. There it is. 21 votes.
I mean, I feel like that's fair. Straight, got more to talk about. So yeah, he did sneak up and got the S.
Yep.
I know that was still a majority of overall people, but the majority in one overall vote.
And that,
Democracy.
all of that was in one episode. He's done so much in just one episode that I think he deserves the S tier. Yes, absolutely.
All right, so
Paul says was not meant towards you. Oh, thank you.
So
because Mark got here and didn't know the routine.
Because Mark put in more, I'll put in a random one that we've got, which we can, not so quick fire, but we can talk about. Put in Chang, the famous tactician.
I mean, yeah, developed a bird of prey that can fire while cloaked. Not, I mean, that's I guess tactical, but
well, he organized a coup basically for his government with Starfleet, so he was able to negotiate, tactically work with the opposite faction. He was able to convince his crew or former crew that would do that. He was able to tactically enact a plan while not physically being on the ship to kill the head of his government and get away with it, and frame like he's all that's his plan.
Talked me into it.
Yeah, but the only thing is he didn't do is that he's also a cowardly bitch. Because staying still and firing while cloaked is not honourable, nor is tactically incredible, but a real bitch move. So,
yeah,
anyone could win while firing while cloaked, right? That's not. But he did all the other stuff as well.
Plus, don't forget he was teaching Starship Tactics at Klingon Academy. That was his job.
With some great music behind him.
Yeah, when he had two eyes. Just saying.
And a little bit fatter. Just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you could go either way. Either he's like the best genius tactician ever in Klingon, or a bitch. Because he did not design the cloaked bird of prey, right? That was his team. Or he found some guy who did it, grabbed the tech, killed him, right? That's not him. He's the utilization of it in his strategy. So yeah. But we've got some lovely. We're getting PayPal's now, so fantastic. So 19 votes. C, 37%. And this is why you need to guys vote straight away because almost at S. That's really close, but yeah, C.
To be fair, I would really like to see him and Goldie Cott go head to head. So
that would be a hell of a film. Yeah, very nice. Right, so do you want to put in a bonus one for Mark, and then we'll go back to the submissions?
No, let's just go with the submissions.
Okay.
So next up, we've got, and I don't know your screen name, Troy, but Shax Season 5. What differentiates Season 5 Shax? Does he get to fire? Is he the one that gets to fire the
That's 4.
eject the warp core? That's what I thought.
Okay, let me just get his image.
Yeah, no
But
problem.
but you could argue that season 5 has all the knowledge of the previous season, so he would be the most tactically able. I suppose that is the logic you could apply to that.
Yes. I mean, he worked with Kira in the Resistance.
Mhm.
They did the same kind of thing. So
Just one
you
with
talk
another
about
200 pounds of muscle.
yeah, exactly. Um, it's got the scars to prove it as well.
I know how
He's
he
been
got
through
those
some.
scars. Oh no, he's fighting. Yeah.
And he also saw the Black Mountain.
He did.
This is
Well,
important.
first character in this list to survive death.
Yes.
And Beverly survived cancellation. That is a death. But yeah.
But didn't the Rognar guy? They thought he was dead at one point, but he
Well,
was
4 does not mean dead.
okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, Shax's the typical grizzled kind of security officer vibe and look. They definitely played that hand. But the fact that he's worked with Kira, he was in the Resistance, he's fought Cardassians, fighting fascism as a full time job. Anyway, yeah, I don't know where I would place him. He doesn't. He's another one that gets told no a lot, and tactically, we don't see much of his tactics per se in the show, sadly. So it's kind of hard to judge. Kind of have to go on word of mouth that he did some shit in the Cardassian War. You have two C options there. Anyway, people are probably assuming that it's B. I don't know. We'll just say it's B. It's fine. I think B is probably where I'd place him anyway. So yeah. I don't have much else to say because he honestly doesn't do that much. He trains the other security officers. He's very much cares about his team and the bear pack or the wolf pack, whatever the hell he calls them. So, did you mean to vote B?
Majority wins that.
You should have put yes or yes.
Wow, that's even harder. Because otherwise he's gonna get a C. Yeah. It's either a C or a B based on the scores. So yeah, that makes sense. So vote now. So the problem is I think he's not very intelligent, really. Because remember, he's also the security of a Cali, which means he's very low tier. He's got mental problems, which makes him very unstable, which is not what you want from a security officer most of the time. But he is brutish, he is powerful, he is a good team player, he's a good team leader. But you would not want him as your lead combat officer for a space battle because you wouldn't want a Cali engineering ship to be in a space battle. Like, you wouldn't, if he was good at space battle, you wouldn't put him in that role because they're not doing that, right? Like,
Yeah.
Billups is a great engineer. He would need to be for that ship. But he's going to be already, like, lower tier, like, lowest 25% of all tactical officers in Starfleet, as he wouldn't be there. Now, you could argue his genius is so unstable, he has to be somewhere out of combat, but you're wasting the combat potential. So I would say at best to C, and when you compare him for me, for Dukat, Dukat, Chang, and La'an, he'd be below, because La'an is a smarter lady than him, and maybe stronger. Maybe. So even physicality-wise, right? So I would say C at the push. I'm really sorry to say that. I say that, but 73% did not think B, which meant C, which means C. So yeah, he gets a C.
I see what you did there.
It worked. It worked. Interesting. All right, I like it. I'm learning stuff. Yeah.
So next up, so he gets C. You said. Let's put him there. Got some mentally unstable people in C.
Seriously, or like pushed to beyond the limit and has broken them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Next is Mbanga, also mentally kind of not there. And this is like Klingon War Mbanga. The assassin, the
the
ghost,
butcher. Didn't they call him butcher at one point?
Oh,
That as a catchphrase. The butcher of Dengar 4, whatever. Something like that.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Klingon name.
Anyway, yeah. A specialized assassin, and he's well known among the Klingons for doing what he does. So he must be good, tactically minded to get behind enemy lines to assassinate people or do whatever you need to do. I think he was special trained, like special forces, and as a result, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a dichotomy, the fact that he is an assassin but is also a medical guy. Like it's a weird kind of situation he's got going on, playing both sides of that fence. Uh, so yeah, it's a tactically, I don't know how good he is specifically, but he does have a reputation, so that would imply very good.
I love this as a pick. Really, really. 'Cause this is where you guys are gonna submit, right? Love it. But you can't take the special, brain physical poison power up as a standard. So that doesn't include. But he clearly has, like, that heightens his ability set. So he clearly has a stronger than average physical ability of fighting. I would assume to use a scalpel well, even a laser scalpel, he probably has very good hand-eye control. So probably good with a phaser. I'm happy to give him that. And again, only enhanced by this drug. So both of those things better than average. And to be picked to be Black Ops and in this program as an active fighter, not just part of it, he must be in upper echelon. That said, upper echelon of a medical team chap, not of a security team chap, I would definitely give, like, Laan could beat him up very happily. Wouldn't love it, but could. But Space Battle, I'm not going to give him any points. I have no idea. Team leader, I would think he seems cold enough to make good tactical decisions for the team. He's got to pick life or death, so actually that, I would say, probably quite good. So, personal level, strong. Space level, weak. There you go.
That's good. Because yeah, you're right. He's kind of cold and heartless, so he will send people to their death on his team
Yeah.
and not really think twice
Because
about
he
it
has
because
to.
it's getting the job done, essentially, right? So
Are we going to give him any credit for beating up two Klingons in hand-to-hand combat, given one was an old man who didn't know he was going to go to death, and the lady, he sort of won, like, two Klingons
no,
hand-to-hand?
no, he's at that stage where he's just tired of it all, I think,
Yeah.
and so it wasn't top tier him. I don't know. No, I don't want to give them
Yeah.
credit for that.
Yeah, I think Adi is very fair. I think he has, like Beverly, she has some stuff, but I would not call him, certainly not Chang or Shax. I mean, he's medical. Although funny, 3 medicals at the bottom, but they have a bit of secret sauce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys are saying the same thing with 19 votes. D wins with 68%.
Pretty high margin. Interesting. And someone did think A. Someone voted. Hey, power to you.
Yep, yep,
Interesting.
yep. All right, next one is another PayPal that we
Beautiful.
have. So thank you so much to Troy, whoever you may be.
All the
Should
difference.
put your username in there. I think I know who you are, but I'm not quite 100% sure. Bad Trojan, I think. Anyway, $5. Eddington from Deep Space Nine
Mm.
and Cisco, specifically from the episode For the Cause. Says, I love the rivalry. He only beat Cisco by using his family and love, and then Cisco did the same. So I got images from that particular episode.
Right. Okay.
We will talk about both, but we'll talk about Eddington first.
Mm.
Eddington being part of the
Mm.
Maquis, infiltrating, well, not infiltrating Starfleet. He was already a Starfleet officer. He was
They
just,
picked him because he could get there, and then he moved
yeah,
off. Right? He was already Starfleet first. He just happened to.
yes, yeah. Um, but used his position, waited things out, definitely took his time, very strategically and tactically minded, in my opinion, and playing mental chess with Cisco at the end because Starfleet captain. They have morals, right? They're not going to do certain things.
Have you met Cisco?
I just met one that, yeah, because he can live with it. Can live with it. Well, that's the wrong episode. Oh yeah, it's just sets a pattern, doesn't it?
Same man though. No, that's
Exactly.
great quote. Great quote. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think Eddington definitely played his cards very well. Good enough to fool Cisco, which is the reason that Cisco was so pissed, because Cisco didn't see it coming.
And he thinks
Cisco
of himself as
was,
a smart man who should have seen it coming.
yes, exactly. The betrayal was what kind of pushed Cisco a little bit over the edge, but well warranted, because yeah, tactically minded, I think Eddington is very much a good tactical. I wouldn't say genius, but you know, he played the long game, which a lot of people don't necessarily want to do. So it's a great tactic to play the long game and just kind of keep things close to your chest. Don't you know what I mean? Like he did a good job. So I'm going to say yes, very tactically minded. Not an S tier though, in my opinion.
And I did put, because I'm sort of voting vaguely. I went from S to C, so I added that as a possibility to, if you really want to vote, think clearly on that. Yeah, he's an interesting one. What do we know about him? He's really a good.
He's Canadian.
We know that about him. Yeah. His tactic is spying, is espionage, is lying, is working within the system. That's a very specific tactic, right? That's more Chang level as game playing. That's that's specific, right? We have zero expectation of him being a good space battle guy. So that entire category is gone. So he can't be an S anyway, because he has no, as far as we know, no tactics at all. Which, in fairness, fine. He could just be a security, like Odo, same thing. You wouldn't give him points for space battles. He can shoot, but he can press buttons. He hasn't got tactics, right? So his chief security officer, great, fine, cool. That takes him down. We'd see him do a few things here and there, but he's sort of just there and good, right? You would not have given him more than a C had he not had his turn. He'd just been a good officer, right? Standard fare dues. It's the turn, the fact that he convinced people for so long, and then he was a higher up in the Marquis. He did win submissions against Starfleet, cool, all that stuff, and that takes tactics, 100%. But it's sort of in a very slight vein, similar to Locutus. He knew the inner workings, so he could play the system differently, right? He had the identity codes like the Reliant. He got through the shields. He had tactics because he had a huge advantage. Huge, right? And he probably also had a few contacts that were going to let him do some stuff, even if they didn't know. I'll look the other way while he get access to the ship's security codes. Yeah, So, you know what I mean? He was spying it in a way. So tactically one certain way, but I wouldn't trust him in a space battle fight. I wouldn't say he's physically strong, but the other stuff I'm sure he's quite high on. So, you know what I mean? Specialist, not a master of all, specialist in some, but he beat Cisco several times. And I mean, he was also more vicious than Cisco, because he was willing to kill. No, he's less vicious than Cisco. He was not willing to kill millions of civilians. Yeah, so Cisco's more of a bastard, because Cisco was willing to kill civilians. He has more morals than Cisco.
I said kill civilians. I mean, some of them would die, not very many, but the radiating the planet for the next 50 years or whatever it's fine. All right, what are you guys saying? 21 votes.
Yeah.
C wins with 43%. Oh, I would have put him at a B at least. All right, and then Cisco.
Oh shit, yeah.
We're doing just specifically in this episode. That was requested, but
this era, it's got to be this era, right? So late mid Dominion War. I don't know how you quantified this specific episode.
Tactically, though, he's not. He's kind of brutish in his approach to things. He's kind of got to the point where it's like you're going to drill through to get things done. Yes, he comes up with some plans, as for flanking some. There's a lot of tactics that he employs, but I mean, he is good tactically, though. God damn it. Yeah, I don't know. He tends to hold a grudge, get emotional, and get a little ragey, which can can affect tactical efficiency, I think, because you kind of overstep, you speed things up, you try to get to the it causes issues. So tactically, I don't know how well he would. I don't know what I'm saying. Never piss off Cisco. True. Cisco's a lot like me. Um, Something gets stuck in his craw. He kind of doesn't let it go very easily sometimes, and he's a little bit hot-headed at times. So that's why I like Cisco so much. But tactically, I don't know where to put him.
Really interesting. I'm super interested to see what you guys say, because I think you assume he's going to be top tier S. But in Deep Space Nine, he's actually a really good team leader. He's letting Worf do all the space battles, do all the ground work, and do most of the tactics. He's letting Kira suggest things. He's letting Dax do stuff. When does he ever space battle? He doesn't. Out of the running. And I wouldn't assume he was. He was a commander of a ship. He's not tactical. I don't know where he came from, command path, but I do not assume it was tactical. Right? So, space battle, not his thing. But that's fine, right? That's fine. Hand-to-hand combat, he's fine. He's not that strong. He can fire a phaser fine. I wouldn't say any of those things he particularly did great, but that's fine. Doesn't need to be. Ground combat strategy, he leaves it to Worf and Kira. Because he knows they're better. He knows they are better. Right? As a good team leader. Does he get results? Yes. But I think he's mid. He's a good mid. Right? He'll have some very good ideas. But he'll also let his team do a lot of the other good ideas. So, yeah, I would say it was was it his idea to do the cloaking minefield? No. Was it his idea to take the, all these things weren't his ideas. If you start breaking down what he did. Yeah, strong mid. I would go B. And B is being generous. B is being because he probably had some really good ideas. But he didn't kill his leader and almost start a civil war and Chang, you guys voted, of course. He's certainly weaker than Spock. All those things. Like, yeah, I would say he was a B. I'd say he's our first B. Out of respect for what he probably could have done. Even the Pale Moonlight wasn't his plan. Wasn't his plan, wasn't his execution, and it wasn't his resolve at the end.
He was strung along for the ride.
So his famous plan is not his plan. So I'm just this fucker. This fucker. Yeah, so I'm just Raj, he pied to the Mirror Defiant Samuel. Nice. He did. But he also pied it inside a sensor bubble not to get hit, which is great, but it's
do you take into account his designing the Defiant or helping design the Defiant as part of his tactical mindedness? No.
Otherwise, then O'Brien can take credit for being tactical, which he is tactical, but like for arming DS9. It's like, well, he engineered it, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
20 votes. Everybody disagrees with you and gives him an S with 76%.
Yep. He'd get bitch slapped by Rogue Dana any day of the week.
Oh, he would be mad though.
Oh yeah, he'd rage his way.
He'd be rubbing it. Dana would be rubbing it in his face, and Cisco would just be getting madder and madder and making mistakes. So, why is there nobody in B?
I don't know. I think there should be. Very interesting. Yeah, this is yeah. Boy, given the power up, Stuart has some interesting results. Because we would not have voted this. This is not at all what we would have done.
Well, we still have a few from marks that we can pull in now if you want. I got one I want to pull in.
Yeah, beautiful.
You've already got a glimpse of.
I mean, can we get one more PayPal 5? Would love to have one more. Round out the day. It's been a bit of a slow one, but all mounts up with our PayPal, so absolutely one more PayPal of any kind would be tremendous. Thanks, Patrick. Appreciate you a lot.
Oh, that is. I was right. It was about Trojan. He says, B for sure. I'm trying. Well, I'm pulling in Garrick, of course, because this is an absolute S tier. There's no question about it. He absolutely plays the long game, trained by the Obsidian Order. He is, and you're never quite sure even when you think you're sure, you're not sure. Because it's lie upon lie upon lie. And, is he telling you the truth or is he telling you what you want to hear? You can never quite be sure with Garrick. He's absolutely an S tier. He's just tactically minded. Yes. Yes is the answer. There's no you don't have to pull up perfect specific examples, even though we just did in the Pale Moonlight. He 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 thinks things through. So I'm just gonna put him there because he's an S. And I want to see how many people are wrong in the vote.
Yeah, he's funny because he does in one space battle he is the guy at Defiance Weapons. There is one. I can't remember which one, but it is late. He happens to be there, but he is there doing stuff on Defiant, if I recall. So I do give him credit. And if you're Obsidian Order, you can pilot Hideki. You 100% have all the skills. Like they ain't letting you in the Obsidian Order that level if you can't fight, tactic, space battle, poison, bomb. All that shit has to be downlock, right? And we know that Anabrantain was one of the best, and he was both his son and his main pupil. So you're looking at top tier, right? Yeah. I mean, Inner Pale Moonlight by itself is Chang level anyway, right? So that's going to be parallel. Probably more sneaky because Chang had the inner track. He was already there, kind of thing. I mean, not a great parallel, but he was able to shoot and kill every Klingon in that one corridor one time. But that's just shooting fish in a barrel. But it did do that. There is some episode he punches somebody. Yeah, I mean, I would probably, I would be in, if it was me, I'd be in between S and an A. Because I would still say Danar could beat him. Because physicality will be the upper thing. Like,
He beat him like physically
yeah.
in a pursuit, but I think Garrick would outthink him and come to his final position
But I
first.
think Garrick needs time. I
Yes, he
think
does.
so. I think yeah. If there's 3 steps, Garrick wins every step. But if Dagar's appeared on the station and Garrick only has what's in his shop, he wouldn't be able to MacGyver his way to win because Danar could absolutely you know what I mean. There are situations, right? So I think that's why I give him a slight edge because he doesn't.
Yeah.
Danar given time could also be near Garrick, but that's specialist win specialist. Yeah.
All right, we are running out of time, so there's one more PayPal. That'll be the last one. So thank you, Bad Trojan, for that. We appreciate that.
So much.
We got 2 more to talk about, and then we will be done. So that's the last one, unfortunately, guys. But yes, Garrick is S tier. Like he's the poster boy for tactical,
I mean, look at his face.
tactically
That just
minded,
says tactical.
right?
And what was the percentage, Stuart? Because,
Oh yeah. So it's 82%.
biggest
And then
majority so far.
8% for B, 5% for A, and 5% for C. All right, so we got 2 more. He's trying to go for a B here. He's trying to get a B, the Bad Trojan. So thank you. So his first one is O'Brien.
Okay. Really
Now,
interesting pick.
is O'Brien tactically minded? I'm trying to think of a situation. I mean, O'Brien must suffer. He's been in some shitty situations, but he's also been in prison and he's been on trial and he's gone through some shit, which I think if he was more tactically minded, he wouldn't be in those positions. So, and he can't be that fucking smart because he married Keiko. So, yeah, I don't think he really thinks things through tactically.
Turns out she's
So,
the biggest tactician because she got the ring.
dun dun dun.
Oh, you beat me to the ring. Ah.
Yeah, I got nothing. I don't think he's a B. I think he's lower than a B. Um, he can think his way around a computer terminal and fix that fucker. But I wouldn't say tactical at all. Unless you can think of an example.
Well, we know he was wartime. We know who's in the war, but just as if, and I suppose,
He was a frontline soldier. He was doing what he was told.
but you can be a frontline soldier as an engineer, because he's not. He wasn't a phaser wielding guy. He's an engineer, surely. I mean, I guess unlisted.
No, I don't think he was an engineer at first. Because even on Enterprise, he was just the transporter guy. I think the engineering kind of developed.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be a tactical guy doing transporting. You'd be an engineer track. It wouldn't make sense to have a guy with a phaser. I mean, it's an easy job, but he always fixed the transporter, so he had to have engineering. So he's definitely engineer minded. But I guess if you're doing if you're attacking ships, you want engineers who can fight. You don't need warriors that can't hack or whatever. But yeah, either way, he's unlisted, then not, then yes. He's a grunt. He can definitely tactical a machine. I wouldn't put past him booby trap anything to reverse polarity of the neutron flow so it can blow up. So tactically, if you give him if you MacGyver him, right, he can tactic that. So he can think a few steps ahead. He can do a bit of that. But yeah, he can he space battle? Probably. Well, no. I feel like he'd want to learn how to pilot a ship just so he can be useful. Like, you know what I mean? He's that sort of guy. But, he's an absurdly good engineer. Really good team leader. A lot of other stuff he is good.
Mm-hmm.
All-round reliable chap, but I would not say right up there. But you guys to pick. This is 100% you, right?
We have to end soon because I do have to go. But
yeah.
I got to bring up something. When he gets on his former captain's ship, beams through their shields, walks past their bridge crew to get into the ready room without being stopped.
Yeah,
that's tactically minded.
Mm-hmm. And it's not technically him, but he does successfully die hard Rogue Adenar Deep Space Nine to get off the station when he thinks everyone's against him.
True.
So he does beat the entire crew working their hardest.
Okay, that's
gonna have to be at least a C for that, because but then Benga's a fighter. Oh, that's is that? It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. But yeah,
well, 20 votes. D wins with 45%. So we're gonna put him at D. I think he might have been a possible B after you said that.
Yeah, but
that's tactically minded to know what they're going to do to stop you and to set all that stuff up in advance to be able to get away.
But that's also home field advantage, right?
Absolutely.
Like La'an could do that on the Enterprise easily, no question. So could Eddington, right? So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And the last one from that PayPal from the Bad Trojan.
Thank you for being here. You've made the live.
Captain Nog.
Right. Alternate future Captain Nog. He probably had less screen time than Rogue Adenar, obviously. But yeah. I don't know.
Trying to remember what he did tactically that would qualify him to get a B. If you're trying to get a B out of this situation. I mean, he said specifically Captain Nog, because I kind of just want to talk about Nog because
Well, keep in mind, Captain Nog is all of the other Nog.
I know.
Plus experience that we don't know, so he is still 100% the Nog we know.
The material continuum or the whatever, where it's like, you trade to get something else to trade. Like that's pretty tactically minded. You gotta give him that. He's got the Ferengi tactics. As a captain, though, I don't know. I don't remember specifically what he did as the captain, except sitting in his chair. So
he was there.
Yeah, well, he has a ship class named after him. He does indeed. Bad Trojan. Everybody vote B because I want to get a B before we go. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I get this. If we take it, he's actually the captain of the Defiant, which I don't know if he was in the episode. I thought they took her out of mothball in some way, because Brian says still using these antiquated tech consoles. I think she was specifically not in service or somewhere not being used, and Nog requisitioned her. So I don't think he's, or even if it was, the Defiants are antiquated by this point. This is really this is post, I believe, post Picard season 3. Well, yeah, it'd have to be because O'Brien's really young. He's not young in this, and we know how old people are in Picard. So yeah, this is so. So if this is, do not know where his command was. If this is his command, then he's not a very high-ranking officer, because yeah. So tactically, yeah, and he was fine in DS9, pretty good. I would see Nog as a good overall chap. I wouldn't say go space battle, but I do believe he did run the weapons on the Defiant several times in the Dominion War. And obviously that was his ability was the power of plot.
Yeah.
He did well, but also auto aim. And
Personally,
Defiant's right at the front of them, so it's hard to miss, you could argue.
I'd give him a D.
Mm.
But according to the poll with 17 votes, you guys are giving him an F with 53%.
I almost didn't put that in. I was like, he's not an S, so I guess I better give an F. Wow. Yeah, I mean, hey. You want to be technical what you see? He's 0% tactical. Yeah, the Nogism's fine. There you go. This might be the first time we've not had a B.
This is a weird chart with no B.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. You guys have been awesome.
Yes.
We really appreciate you guys and all you do. So thank you, Bad Trojan, for all the PayPals. Awesome.
It keeps us trying to go, and we do try and go.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I do think it's very interesting. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed.
And tune in this week, and of course for all of the regular content that we have, which is
Mm-hmm.
one video on Saturday and something on Sunday. I got a special something on Sunday on this channel, Trekyards.
Perfect.
So tune in for those, and we'll see you guys next week. So have a good weekend, everybody. And Sam, you have a good weekend too.
Thank you. Hopefully, you never know.
Until next time, he is Commander Cockings.
He's Captain Foley, and special guest Space Bazooka.
Space Bazooka.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.